Hello everyone. So in today's video we are going to discuss what is Coulomb's law and let us see how we can express Coulomb's law in vector form. So let's start. So this all begins with him, that is Charles Coulomb, a French scientist who spent lots of years to understand the electrostatic force between the two stationary point charges, and finally he deduced a very important law who governs the force between the two stationary point charges, and the law is known as Coulomb's law. And the law is stated as this: the magnitude of force between two stationary point charges, the magnitude of force between two stationary point charges is directly proportional to product of magnitude of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them, and this force is always along the line joining the two charges. So as we know, this law looks very similar to the universal gravitational law. There we discuss the gravitational force of attraction between two masses, and here we are discussing the electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion between two charges. So both law looks very similar. Now let us understand this law. Let us consider two stationary point charges Q1 and Q2. They are separated by a distance r. Now according to the Coulomb's law, if F is the force between the two charges, then F is directly proportional to product of the magnitude of the charges, that is F is proportional to Q1 and Q2, and also F is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them, that is F is proportional to 1 by r square. So as this law obeys inverse square rule, therefore we are taking r square. So therefore according to this law, F is proportional to Q1 Q2 by r square. Okay. Now we know that when you remove the proportionality sign, we will get a constant known as proportionality constant. So when the proportionality sign is removed, we will get F is equal to K Q1 Q2 by r square, and here the K is a proportionality constant, also known as a Coulomb's constant, and here the value of K, you have to understand, is it depends on two important factors. So if you see, the value of K depends on two important factors. The factor one is it depends on the system of unit used, and second factor is it depends on the nature of the medium between the 2 point charges. So here the value of K depends on these two factors. Now let us understand first how it depends on the system of unit used. So according to the SI system, the value of K for free space, that is for air or vacuum. Okay, so according to the SI system, the value of K for free space is equal to 8.9875 into 10 to the power 9. So what should be the unit for this? So the unit for this is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So according to the SI system, if the charges are present in a free space, then the value of K is equal to 8.9875 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Okay. So for simplification of the formula in electrostatic, usually the K is expressed as K is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. So for simplification, the K value is expressed like this: K is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. And now here, what is epsilon naught? So here the epsilon naught is constant for the free space, that is it is a constant value for air or vacuum, which is equal to 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12. So what should be the unit for this? First of all, we see how the value it comes. See, if you see the formula, K is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi exponent naught. What is exponent naught is equal to? It is 1 divided by 4 pi into K, and we know the value of K, that is 8.987524.9. When substitute the value and simplify, the value of exponent naught is found to be 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12. Now guess what should be the unit for this, as it is a reciprocal of K. Now the unit for this is Coulomb square per Newton meter square. That is, exponent naught is equal to 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. And one more unit for exponent naught is Faraday per meter. It is also unit for exponent naught. Now here the exponent naught is known as permittivity of free space. Now guys, what does that mean? What is meant by permittivity of free space? So permittivity is nothing but it is a parameter for the medium which decides for how much extent the force between the 2 point charges should extend. Okay, so it is a constant for the given medium who tells the force how much extent the force is present between the 2 point charges. It tells about it, or which decides. So as we see, permittivity, what does that mean? It is an ability of medium to permit, means to allow. So this tells for how much extent the force between two stationary point charges should exist. So decided by the medium. So that is permittivity for free space. Okay. Now according to the SI system, the Coulomb's law is expressed as F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi exponent naught Q1 Q2 by R square. So this is the expression for Coulomb's law according to the SI system. Now if you see a CGS system, in CGS system the value of K for air or vacuum is 1. Therefore Coulomb's law is expressed as F is equal to Q1 Q2 by R square, as the value of K is 1. Okay, so this is how the value of K depends on the system of unit used. Now let us see how the value of K depends on the nature of the medium between the 2 point charges. For that, consider if the two stationary point charges separated by a certain distance are present in a free space, then the force between them is represented by Coulomb's law as F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi exponent naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay. Now here exponent naught we know it is permittivity for free space. Okay. So if the 2 point charges are present in air in a free space, the force between them is given by this formula. F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi exponent naught Q1 Q2 by R square, where exponent naught is a permittivity for the free space, that is for air or vacuum. Now call this equation number 1. And now let us assume the same two charges separated by the same distance, when they are present in an insulating medium, then the force between them is represented by the Coulomb's law as Fm is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay. Now if that same 2 point charges separated by the same distance, when they are present in an insulating medium, means the medium other than air or vacuum. If the charges are present in a medium other than air or vacuum, that is when the charges are present in an insulating medium, then the force between them according to Coulomb's law is represented by this formula, that is Fm is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square. Now let us understand what is epsilon here. Here epsilon is known as absolute permittivity for the given medium. Absolute permittivity for the given medium. Now call this equation as equation number 2. Now let us compare equation 1 and 2 by taking their ratio. Now after comparing by taking the ratio, we will found that F divided by Fm is equal to epsilon divided by epsilon naught. Okay. So after taking the ratio, we will found that F divided by Fm is equal to epsilon divided by epsilon naught. And now here the ratio epsilon divided by epsilon naught, this ratio is known as relative permittivity. Means permittivity of one medium with respect to air or vacuum is known as relative permittivity. That is epsilon divided by epsilon naught. And now here this ratio epsilon divided by epsilon naught is represented by epsilon r, known as relative permittivity. So epsilon r is equal to epsilon divided by epsilon naught. That is relative permittivity. And this relative permittivity is also called as dielectric constant for the given medium, represented by K. So therefore F divided by Fm is equal to epsilon divided by epsilon naught, which is equal to epsilon r, or which is also called as dielectric constant K. Now it is found that Fm is equal to F by K. Now what is understanding by this? It is clear that looking this equation, that is Fm is equal to F by K, from this equation it is clear that the force between two stationary point charges separated by a certain distance in an insulating medium is equal to 1 divided by K times the force between the same two charges separated by the same distance in free space. Okay, so the force between the 2 point charges separated by a certain distance in an insulating medium, other than air or vacuum, is equal to 1 divided by K times the force between the same two charges when they are present in air or vacuum. Is that clear, guys? So see, from this equation you might have a problem like this. Suppose the force between the two stationary point charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a certain distance in free space is found to be F. Then what is the force between the same 2 point charges separated by the same distance in a medium of dielectric constant 4? Then how we will find the solution for this? It is quite simple, guys. We know the formula, Fm is equal to F by K. So here they are giving the value of K is 4. Therefore the new force, the force between the charges when they are present in a medium whose dielectric constant value is 4, is clearly equal to Fm is equal to F by 4. So the correct answer for this is F by 4. You got this one? So such kind of problems may appear from this. Okay. So likewise the value of K depends on two factors, system of unit, and it depends on the nature of the medium between them. And now guys, from this it is very clear that the force between the two stationary point charges is inversely proportional to the dielectric constant of the medium. Okay, means if any medium has more dielectric constant value, then the force between the two stationary point charges becomes less. Means as K value increases for the medium, the force between the two stationary point charges separated by a certain distance decreases. Is that clear, guys? Okay. Now guys, let us understand how we can represent this Coulomb's law in vector form. As we can see, the force between the 2 point charges is a vector quantity. Therefore we should represent the Coulomb's law in vector form. Okay. So to represent the Coulomb's law in vector form, let us understand this situation. Okay. Now consider we have a two stationary point charges Q1 and Q2. And suppose the Q1 is present at a point A and Q2 is present at a point B in a free space. Okay. Now we have two stationary point charges. Q1 is present at a point A and Q2 is present at a point B in a free space. Now to understand the position of these two charges at a point A and B, let us consider a Cartesian coordinate system consists of 3 axes, x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and here O is an origin. Now with respect to the origin, let us understand the position of these two charges at A and B. For that, let us consider the position vector. So to represent the position of charge q1 at a point A, we have to use a position vector r1. And to understand the position of charge q2 at a point B, let us consider a position vector r2. Okay. And guys, let us consider for an instant the force between these two charges is a repulsive. Let us consider, imagine between them there is a repulsion. Okay. Now the force on q1 because of q2 is given by F12 vector, okay, which is away from that charge. It is repulsion. So force on q1 because of q2 is F12, which is away from that. And same way the force on q2 because of q1, it is F21 vector, which is again away from that. It is a repulsion. And let us consider the distance between these two charges as r12 or r21. So it depends, guys. How it depends? Suppose you are calculating the repulsion force on a charge q1 due to q2, and that repulsion force is F12. And at that case, the distance you have to take from q2 to q1, that is r21 you have to consider. And suppose you are calculating the force on q2 because of q1, which is known as F21, and at that time the distance you have to take from q1 to q2, that is r12 you have to take. So here for the example you are taking both, okay. And now let us represent the Coulomb's law in vector form. So the Coulomb's law in vector form is represented as F12 vector is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi x bar naught modulus of q1 q2 divided by r12, that is r12 square into r12 cap. Now what is r12 cap? It is an unit vector along that direction. So what is r12? r12 is the distance between first charge and second charge. It is distance between first charge and second charge. So r12, the unit vector along that direction is r12 cap. Okay. Now in one more way we can represent the same as F12 vector is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi x bar naught mod of q1 q2 divided by r cube into r12 vector. So how this comes? As we know that all, how we represent the unit vector, that is how you represent r cap. R cap is equal to r vector divided by modulus of r. Okay. So from that the one more r comes at that here, therefore it becomes r cube. So this is a way, this is one kind of way we can represent Coulomb's law in vector form. That is F12 vector is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi x bar naught mod of q1 q2 divided by r cube into r12 vector. Okay. So these two way. Or also we can represent the Coulomb's law as F21 vector is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi x bar naught mod of q1 q2 divided by r21 square into r21 cap. Or F21 vector is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi x bar naught mod of q1 q2 divided by r cube into r21 vector. So this is the way we can represent the Coulomb's law in vector form. You got this one? Okay, I hope you understand this well. And guys, here we have to understand that the F12 vector is equal to minus of F21 vector. Means this Coulomb's law obeys the Newton's third law of motion. Means the force between these two charges obeys Newton's third law of motion. Therefore, suppose if the two charges q1 and q2 are of same kind, means they are of same polarity, then the product q1 into q2 is more than 0 and the force between the charges is a repulsive force. And if the q1 and q2 are of opposite polarity, then the product Q1 and Q2 is less than 0 and the force between them is an attractive force. You got this one, guys? So here in this way you can understand that. And one thing you have to understand that the force between the 2 point charges is independent of their polarity. Whatever be the polarity, it is always the magnitude of that. Okay, so the force of attraction or repulsion between 2 point charges is, it depends on the product of the charges, product of the magnitude of charges. So it is independent of their polarity. And also the F depends on the distance between the charges. Okay, so the force between the two stationary point charges depends on magnitude of the product of the charges, or doesn't depends on the polarity of the charges, and also it depends on the distance between the charges. How it depends? Inversely. Yes, the distance between the 2 point charges increases, the electrostatic force between them decreases. And the third thing is understand is the F depends on the medium between the two stationary point charges. And how it depends? It depends inversely. If the dielectric constant for the given medium increases, the force between the two stationary point charges decreases. Okay, so guys, for the reference, you just refer for how much dielectric constant values, what is the value of F. Okay, for that you just refer the NCERT book. For all kind of medium, the K value is given there. So I hope you understand this Coulomb's law and how we can represent Coulomb's law in vector form. Okay, so in upcoming topic we will discuss what is the superposition principle for this force, and let us understand what is meant by electric field. Okay, so guys, I hope you understand this. I hope you are enjoying my classes. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share with your friends. Okay, like all my videos. Thank you.